Hi and welcome to today's episode. Today's guest is called Keisha Shokunbi from the Metropolitan Police. She's been with the force for over 15 years and is looking to pass her sergeant's exam this year. Keisha has kindly agreed to come along and talk to me about her job. Let's get started. Hi Keisha, thanks for coming to talk to me.
Hi Jas, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you for having me here today.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
And what's one thing that you love about your job?
Oh my goodness me, there's so many things. There's so many things I love about my job. I love getting to meet people. I love getting to have the different experiences that a police officer gets to have. I love the opportunities that I get as a police officer. The salary is also quite nice. I also like the stability of my job. I feel secured. I know that I've got a good future ahead of me. And I also love the flexibility of being a police officer as well.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your background and have you had any other jobs leading up to this one?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Harringay, in Tottenham. Some people say Tottenham, I say Tottenham. I grew up there, but I've lived in Islington for the last 21 years of my life. Before I joined the Metropolitan Police, I used to work in retail. That's where it all started for me. As soon as I left college, I went straight into retail. So I've got a good background in retail and a lot of customer service experience. But after doing it for a while, I felt that it was time to have a change. I wanted a challenge. I wanted to do something different. And so one day I saw an advert on a bus. The Metropolitan Police were recruiting, and straight away I just thought to myself, I know that I can do that job. I'm competent enough to do that role. I'm fit enough, I'm strong enough, I'm smart enough, I know I can do that job. And so I just decided to apply. And of course I got through, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here now. It was a very long process, I think it took about 12 months from beginning to end, but I'm really glad that I made the decision to join the police force.
Do you mind me asking what age you were when you joined the police?
Well, I've been in the police force now for 14 years, so you'll need to do the maths. So it's been a while. Mm-hmm.
So earlier on you talked a little bit about having to be fit and smart. As a young person, that can feel quite overwhelming sometimes. Is there any advice that you could give to us to encourage us?
Yeah, I mean, don't let it overwhelm you. I mean, you don't need to be like Usain Bolt, do you know what I mean? It's not that level of fitness, but I think it is important if you are thinking about having a career within the police force, especially as a frontline police officer, more specifically, then you do want to start looking at your lifestyle, because we are expected to have a general level of fitness. You need to think about your lifestyle, and I think it's important to start that from a young age. Healthy eating, getting plenty of rest, and of course exercise, I think is very important. It'll put you in good stead, but it's not the be all and end all. And also I think, thinking about becoming a police officer, communication is key. That's a really important skill to have. That's one of the reasons why I felt that I could do the job, because of my background in customer service. I think I've got great communication skills. I don't know if you agree. But that was one of the reasons that pushed me into doing the role, because as a police officer, you are going to be doing a lot of talking. And ultimately, I mean, although police officers get issued with officer safety equipment, i.e. CS spray, a baton and handcuffs, you really don't want to have to be thinking about going for your equipment. You really want to be able to, diffuse situations through good communication. So that's one of the things I would say. Also, the great thing about the police force is you can get a taster of what it's like. So if you were interested in becoming a police officer, you could sign up to become a voluntary police officer. We call a voluntary police officer a special constable. So you could become a special constable. You would have exactly the same powers as a police officer, and you would be able to get a great insight into what it's like being a police officer. I believe you only have to do 16 hours a month. I'm not sure if that's changed. It should be 16 hours a month. And that's what a lot of people do. They join up as a volunteer, and then once they've got an idea of what the job is like, and they know that they can do the job, and they think it's for them, they then take the next step and apply to become a police constable. That's what a lot of people do.
So looking at other aspects of lifestyle, a lot of young people nowadays are being pulled into gang culture and gang violence.
Yeah.
Is there anything you could say to them that would help them look to the police?
It's interesting that you mentioned that, yeah. It's quite sad what's going on at the moment, all the stabbings and killings and stuff. But I just believe that anything is possible. You know, if you want to do something in life, you can achieve anything in life. And although, yes, having a criminal record can restrict you and can limit you in terms of opportunities, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't join the police force. It's still worth applying, because it may be that, let's just say someone at age 25 wants to apply, but let's just say they were caught shoplifting when they were, say, 15, for example, and they received a caution, let's just say. There's still a possibility that they could still be employed by the Metropolitan Police. The Metropolitan Police will obviously look into that person's background, and they may decide that, you know what, it was a very minor offence, it happened years ago, let's give this person a chance, let's give them an opportunity. Because ultimately, that's what people want, is a chance in life, and they want an opportunity.
Is there any career advice that anyone's given you that's really stuck in your head?
Yes. Well, I recently decided to go for promotion. So, as you know, I'm currently a police constable, and now I've decided to go for the sergeant's role. So I will be sitting the exam in March. Now, there's a few people that I can say pushed me in that direction. Also pushed me, but encouraged me to take that path. And to be honest with you, I actually put it off for many years. And a lot of the time we put things off because it's the fear of the unknown, and sometimes you question yourself and you think, you know, you can't do that, it's just not possible. But they have really, those people have really encouraged me to, you know, to push myself. You know, they've inspired me, should I say. And so, yeah, I made that decision very recently, and I'm really glad that I did.
Would you say that that's the best career decision that you've made, or is there one that tops that?
No, that has so far definitely been the best decision I've ever made. You know, like I said, I've got to do the exam in March, I've got to pass it, but I'm on the right track, and I feel that I'm definitely going in the right direction at this point in my career.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Good luck in your exam.
Thank you.
What has been the highest point of your career so far?
Reaching 14 years service for me has been the highest, highest point. I've never had a job for that long. You know, in fact, I didn't even foresee this. I never thought I would even stay in the organisation for such a long time. So that's a testament to the Metropolitan Police. So yeah, for me that's a big deal. I'm kind of halfway through my 30 years. Yeah.
What have been the biggest challenges you've had to face so far?
Interesting, yes, challenges. There's always a challenge. For me, I think the biggest challenge for me joining the Metropolitan Police was the lack of diversity within the police force and inclusivity within the police force. And also the fact that it was a very male-dominated environment. I think for me, that was quite difficult when I first joined, because I joined in 2007. And it was a little bit daunting as well, if I'm honest with you. But I've managed to survive this far, and I'm so glad. I'm glad that I didn't give up, because there have been occasions where I have felt like just leaving, if I'm honest with you, because it's hard when you join an organisation, you know, a police force. It's very challenging. I mean, you have 18 weeks of studying at Hendon. you know, having to learn all the different offences and all the different laws. It's so much to take in. And then you go to your new team and you look around and you don't see anyone that looks like you, and you've got all these insecurities and stuff, and you're still trying to find your way. So it can be really difficult in the beginning, but there's a lot of people, thankfully, in the organisation that will support you. Yeah, and I got a lot of support. I've been very fortunate and very blessed in my 14 years. And so you do get a lot of support, and things have got better over time. And there's a lot of emphasis now on like mental health and well-being. So there is a lot of help out there for you if you are struggling. And I think that's helped me to get to where I am now.
That's really good to know, as I was going to ask you about police diversity.
Sure.
Do you think that there's enough training before you start to become police, or do you think there's more to be done?
Yeah, no, the training is fantastic. We get a lot of training. I don't think there's an issue with the training. I think it's you know, they give you all the tools that the basic tools that you need, and then you have to go out there and basically do the job, and you learn as you go along, if I'm honest with you. But there's always room for improvement. There's always things that we can do. You know, we do look at things and see how we can improve things within inside the organisation, which is, I think, really good. Mm-hmm.
Who is your biggest inspiration?
Oh goodness, do you know what? I have a lot of people that inspire me, Jazz. Friends, some of my friends are inspirations to me, colleagues at work, family members. I'm gonna have to do a bit of naming within the organisation. So our borough commander, Raj Kohli, he's been a massive inspiration for me. He's been very supportive. Also, Superintendent Neil Hollyoake has also been very supportive, and I appreciate them massively. And like I say, you know, there's many people that have inspired me, but those are just some of the few people that have inspired me so far.
Thanks for coming down to speak to me today.
Thank you, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment and subscribe for more content just like this.